Did you know that just one single crazy wild boar can devastate an entire field in a single night, causing tens of thousands of dollars in damage? And even more amazingly, over the years, American farmers have captured over 1.7 million of these invasive monsters, without a single shot. So how did they do it? This is no longer hunting, it's a technological war. Join Agriculture Flow to discover the details of the technology flow that helped them win this expensive biological battle. This is not an animal. This is a biological pandemic. If in 1990 the United States only had about 2 million wild boars, today that number is nearing the 9 million mark. They have spread, wreaking havoc in 39 states. The economic damage they cause now exceeds $2.5 billion per year. But even more terrifying, they carry 30 to 34 types of pathogenic bacteria, posing a direct threat to livestock, wildlife, and public health. They devastate the ecosystem, eating the eggs of the rare gopher tortoise, competing for food and turning forests into battlegrounds. From Texas to Louisiana, from vast fields to dense jungles, wild boars appear everywhere. But American farmers are not backing down. They are confronting this enormous enemy with extremely intelligent and effective strategies, which you are about to witness. As you just saw regarding the scale of the disaster, controlling wild boars is not simple. Traditional methods like hunting, manual trapping, or using poison have revealed serious limitations. Wild boars run as fast as 25 km/h, have an acute sense of smell, and are extremely cunning, making conventional approaches difficult. Night hunting is even more complicated because it requires an accurate shot to the head or heart within range, significantly reducing effectiveness. In fact, the success rate of traditional hunting control methods has at times dropped to only about 29%, completely insufficient to curb the exploding population. Furthermore, chemical measures like sodium nitrite pose major risks to native wildlife and the environment, becoming more of a liability than a long-term solution. So how have American farmers still managed to capture millions of wild boars without using a gun? And of course, victory doesn't come from brute force, but from strategy. The first and most crucial step is reconnaissance. Imagine standing in a vast field, the ground still damp after rain. Somewhere nearby lie traces of an unseen enemy. Feral hogs prefer to be active in low-lying areas, riverbanks sparkling under the moonlight, dry creeks covered in weeds, water-filled swamps, or the edges of dense forests. To determine where to set a trap, farmers must become detectives, looking for the 3 clearest signs of feral hog activity. The first is the tiny trails through the undergrowth where hogs move in herds. The second is large, wet hoof prints pressed deep into the mud, signs of animals weighing hundreds of pounds that love to wallow in water. Finally, the deep, continuous rooting marks on the ground, as if a mini plow had gone through, where hogs use their snouts to search for roots or insects. Beside these signs, the ideal location must meet practical criteria. It needs to be near a water source, as feral hogs love to drink and bathe. The area should have shade to make them feel safe. And most importantly, it must be easily accessible by vehicle for transporting the trap, bait, and later the captured hogs. In Texas, many farmers choose remote riverbanks where feral hogs congregate every night. Once they find the ideal spot, they begin the next step: luring the hogs into the trap. Step 2. Preparing the bait, the key to naturally luring the sounder of wild boars into the trap. To deceive one of the planet's most intelligent adversaries, you need a perfect formula. Farmers mix dry corn, potatoes, carrots, and the secret lies in molasses, the thick, golden, sweet syrup that creates an aroma no wild boar can resist. The bait is not just scattered, it must form a trail to entice them into the chosen area. Most importantly, they maintain this bait source for several days to build trust. The sounder must become completely familiar, drop their guard, and view this area as a safe provider of food. Once the entire sounder has gathered and trust has been established, that's when technology steps in. This entire process is monitored remotely, awaiting the perfect moment for the fatal blow. Step 3. Monitoring with technology. The move that transforms traditional traps into a smart system. And this is also the secret weapon that helps American farmers win. They install waterproof, super wide-angle eyes right next to the bait area. These cameras don't just record images, they are a real-time information transmission system. All images, whether day or night, are sent directly to their phones. Now, they don't have to lurk in the dark, but can observe remotely, patiently monitoring the habits, schedules, and especially the full size of the entire sounder. The final objective: waiting. Only when the entire sounder is completely secure inside the trapping area, without missing a single animal, do they make the decision. That is when they push the button, and the smart hunt officially begins. After clearly understanding the sounder's habits via camera, the next step is trap preparation. And this is where the strategy becomes specific and professional. Common traps include the sturdy, approximately 5 FT high cage trap with a remote-controlled gate, safe for operators, suitable for individuals or small sounders, and the net trap, corral trap, a large mobile enclosure, pen, which is lower in cost but can hold more animals. The choice of trap type must be based on the sounder size. If the sounder is large, use a corral or silo trap capable of holding up to 50 animals for simultaneous capture. If the sounder is small or only appears occasionally, the cage box trap is the precise, less labor-intensive solution. The trap design must ensure durability, ease of operation, and placement in the surveyed location? Only when everything is meticulously prepared, from the size to the closing to opening mechanism, can the monitoring technology maximize effectiveness and safety. Step 5. Familiarization with the trap. The vital step to make the trap a part of the sounder's feeding schedule. Farmers leave the trap open for several nights, even weeks, allowing the pigs to enter and exit freely. Simultaneously, they spread the bait deep inside the cage to create a feeling of safety and familiarity. This helps the sounder view the area as a normal feeding spot rather than a threat, reducing the risk of wariness when it is time to close the trap. Combining camera monitoring to track their reactions, adjust the bait quantity, and the familiarization time. Patience at this step is the key to ensuring a high capture rate and less harm to both people and animals. When the sounder is accustomed and no longer wary, the decisive step is implemented, setting the trigger. Farmers lead the bait deep into the activation point so that the entire sounder enters the trap before they press the button. One click, the door closes, mission accomplished. Today, many farms also use smart traps that can be activated remotely via phone or computer. High-end systems cost around $75,000. Allowing the trap to close precisely in real time without having to visit the site, increasing efficiency while ensuring human safety. This is a tense but calculated moment. Bait, trigger, and one press. Everything is perfectly arranged to transition from passive observation to decisive action. After capturing the herd, the next step is safe handling. The most common method is to humanely dispatch the animals on the spot. Whether the boars are alive or dead, hunters must wear gloves to avoid disease. These animals carry between 30 to 34 types of pathogens and over 35 dangerous parasites, including Leptospira and Brucella. After they're dispatched, some people process the meat on site for personal use, but most of it is sold to restaurants or the meat industry. One example is Broken Arrow Ranch in Texas, which receives wild boars, transports them to licensed slaughterhouses for processing, then packages and distributes the meat. Each year, this facility processes between 500 and 2,700 wild boars, mostly medium-sized, ranging from 80 to 180 pounds. Larger adult males are often avoided because of the strong odor caused by hormones. You might wonder, why not use guns to hunt feral hogs like in action movies? In reality, hunting is not the optimal solution. Feral hogs can run up to 25 miles per hour, equivalent to a scooter, and have a keen sense of smell, detecting humans from afar. A nighttime hunt requires precise shooting skills from a distance of 600 yards, aiming for the head or heart. Not an easy task. Moreover, hunting only reduced the feral hog population by 29% in 2019. Far too little considering the scale of the problem. The risk of injuring a hog and having it escape further complicates the situation. Other methods, such as using sodium nitrite poison, are being tested, but they pose risks to native animals and the environment. Meanwhile, trapping has proven to be superior, not only safer but also more effective, as evidenced by the 1.7 million hogs captured from 2015 to 2025. In the Great Smoky Mountains, trapping programs have removed 15,000 hogs, demonstrating the power of this method. Trapping not only reduces the feral hog population, but also protects the ecosystem and creates income for farmers. A sustainable solution in the fight against invasive species. And this is ironclad proof of the triumph of human intellect. In less than a decade, American farmers and wildlife officers have managed to capture and remove more than 1.7 million invasive feral hogs. Animals so destructive that they cause an estimated $2.5 billion in agricultural and environmental damage every year across the United States. To put that into perspective, that's more than 170,000 animals per year, or nearly 500 every single day. Even in sensitive areas like the Great Smoky Mountains, where the ecology is severely threatened, over 15,000 animals have been removed from the wild. Each captured hog means fewer destroyed crops, fewer native plants uprooted, and fewer endangered species pushed closer to extinction. And the secret behind this incredible success? It doesn't lie in the power of firearms. It lies in meticulous strategy and persistence. Success often starts with small but calculated actions. Placing the trap at the perfect location, understanding animal movement patterns, and patiently monitoring camera footage from a smartphone until the entire sounder is inside. This is a quiet revolution, proof that technology, patience, and knowledge of nature can accomplish what brute force never could. The message is clear. Even the smallest, smartest decisions can create an enormous impact. And that's precisely why this intelligent, humane trapping method is steadily replacing traditional hunting across America. The story of wild boars in the U.S. gives us a big lesson. Every biological problem requires a smart solution. Now it's your turn. Share with Agriculture Flow. In your area, are there any invasive animals, insects, or plants causing damage? And if it were you, how would you protect your crops without resorting to force? Please like and share this video to spread the story of agricultural intellect. And don't forget to subscribe to the Agriculture Flow channel to discover the next flows of technology and breakthrough problem-solving strategies.